Hello, business casual Yu-Gi-Oh players. I'm your host, the RJB0. Welcome to another episode of Holy Nuts. So today I'm going to be talking about Mermails, which have been making a large, you might say, splash in discussions about the January 2014 format and the meta therein. So Mermails hardly got touched by the ban list. So a lot of people would argue that pretty correctly that title Mermails specifically have lost a substantial amount of consistency through the loss of course, title and the loss of the Sacred Sword of Seven Stars. However, as I said before, the format in my January 2014 ban list, according to the Logic video series, if you don't hit Mermails, they will keep going. They have more inertia than any deck I have ever seen short of like Dragon Rulers, which means that if you don't stop them directly, they will just bulldoze anything in their path. And the reason for that is because Mermails have the trifecta, you might say, of aggro decks. And that's that they have power, they have consistency, and most importantly, they have sustainability. Now, a lot of aggro decks in the game have issues with one of the two of those. For instance, X-Sabers are a major aggro deck. Since they made the ruling about Dark Soul only activating once per turn, X-Sabers have had a substantial amount of firepower and substantial amounts of consistency, a little bit of firepower, but they've really been lacking in the sustainability portion of things. Before, it was the exact opposite problem. They had a lot of sustainability, a lot of consistency, but they couldn't pull off the firepower quite as well. Pure Karakoris have a similar, actually they have kind of the opposite issue. They have a lot of firepower, they have a lot of consistency, or no, they have a lot of sustainability, but they have issues drawing into the cards they need in order to make combos. Mermails, however, have a combo for basically any hand they could possibly draw. They have, I don't know, Infantry, Abyss Lead, Abyss Gaius, Big Eye, Dragosack. That's about as much firepower as you need in a deck. They also have the kind of holy grail of aggro decks, which is the playstyle whereby the more you swarm, the more advantage you gain. Which is something that a lot of aggro decks wish that they could pull off. It's what X-Sabers used to be able to do, but Mermails can still do that because their monsters all replenish their resources. So you discard an Atlantean or an Abyssgund or something for an Abyss-Teus, and then not only does that Atlantean go off and then use it to create advantage, but it also can search for another Mermail monster, which adds consistency to the deck. Or adds resources to the deck's combos. So that one aspect of the deck on its own carries the deck as far as inertia and means that it is going to be a major force for a long time. Really, the only reason it didn't see more play last format was because it just doesn't have the most amazing Dragon Ruler matchup. If it weren't for Dragon Rulers, Mermails basically would have been the top deck last format. And that's the thing about Mermails, as long as you leave them in the game, they will be a force in the meta. And one of the other things about them that adds to their consistency is even if you don't draw into one of your best combos, you're probably going to draw into an Abyss Sphere or an Abyss Lind, which you can then use to get one of your combos out of your deck. So, the thing that I really have to say about Mermails is you have to look out for them. Konami is going to really feel the sting in these first couple of weeks, maybe even the first month or so, from leaving Mermails in the game. They saw a pretty substantial lead as far as decks in the top 16. Germany recently had a tournament. You can check this out on the Yu-Gi Organization's page. Their Facebook page is just the organization, in case you're not already following them. Anyway, in which the entire tournament was based on the January 2013 format. And what we saw was there was a substantial number of Evil Swarm players, but the biggest representation came from Mermails, which had 6 out of the top 16 decks. So Mermails are definitely going to be a major force in the meta. They're a lot cheaper now than they used to be. And that may be changing soon, depending on how popular they become. But the most expensive cards from them got reprints, except, of course, like Dragosack. And so I would definitely look out for them. They're going to be a fun deck to play on basically every level of the game. The one thing they have to look out for is Constellar, because if they can't put a monster on the board, then they're in trouble. And Constellar can also run things like Soul Drain and Defissure, which is a big problem for Mermails. So there you go. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. If you didn't, let me know why in the comment section below. And then, of course, subscribe for more Dex analysis, discussion, and general Yu-Gi-Oh! Shenanigans. Meanwhile, thank you guys for watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Business Casual. I'm your host, the RJB0, and I got a jet. See you guys.